tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show.
What is up? Welcome back to another episode of The Tailgate Show. It's Double A.
Big reveal today. Oh, there it is.
Oh, snap. Blotow. Pam, 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 pam.
We
Fran,
back.
fran.
Full cap. Full cap.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on? Look at the outfit. The fit is fucking
He
crazy.
went all
Hi,
out.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get hyped in this like dead ass time of the year for us Bears fans, man.
You mean the podcast going around are just too much for you, huh?
Well, that's the social media has been. It's just become so soft to what it used to be. We used to be like at each other. Like Justin Fields just brought peace amongst us. I guess.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why this episode is titled Land of the Lotus Eaters. Because the Bears fans
Well,
are
it's like
just either they're like hardcore, like let's dig up some shit and just go at it for no reason. But most people are literally just sitting around high as hell on Justin Fields' Lotus, you know,
Yes.
like
That
just
could be it,
chilling,
too. I mean,
waiting
legal-
for like
legal
waiting for
weed.
right, but like waiting for fucking one little snippet of him in a visor, like an orange visor, and we're just like, like we get all hyped.
I saw that
He is
video of him.
pushing the market.
I saw the video of him at that kids football camp. I'm like, keep those kids. Those kids aren't vaccinated. Keep them away from my quarterback.
I know, right? Like mad protective. Like I've been hearing rumors, you know, he's at London House, he's at this, that, you know, he's out, and I'm like, fuck. I get a little worried.
Yeah.
You know.
Understandably.
We're just like, you know, yeah, protective. We're like protective. We have like a paternal instinct, you know, like we must protect the chosen one.
Well, when the Bears come out and say no autographs at training camp and this and that, and only 1,000 fans, and then you see him out there with like at a kid's camp, and it's just like,
What's
I'm,
he
just
supposed
hoping,
to do?
I'm hoping he doesn't get in trouble, man. You know?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I mean,
He's a smart cat. We've already established that. So
Oh no,
he's
sure,
already-
but when I saw that, I'm like, shit, Dalton's gonna start one more game now.
yo, Field Yates was on. I think it was on Yurkovich, Carmen Yurk, maybe, and he was saying they asked him how many games do you think Justin Fields starts, and he said 17.
Wow.
Now, Field Yates said he thought that he was gonna that Fields was just gonna blow Dalton out of the water in camp, and they won't be able to deny it.
I mean, I said that, and nobody wanted. You guys were like, yeah, whatever.
The hype train will just leave the station.
That's what I was trying to tell you. Once training camp rolls around, Nagy's gonna have no choice.
I don't know, man. I think he's going to try to slow play it as best he can.
Yeah, but if there's any coach that gets caught up in waves, it's fucking Nagy. Like Nagy can't get out of the way of any waves. Like it's like, bro, when you have the kind of streaks that he's had as a coach, like that dude is just going with the fucking flow. Like he's just, I mean, he can't stop it, and that's fine. I don't think he necessarily should. But it's just funny how, like, no matter what is going on with the team, he seems like, yeah, all right. Like, it's like, no, shit's not all right. You just lost 6 games in a row. Like, you know, like he just rides the waves, man.
And that was okay. Like when we drafted Mitch, I was okay with him riding the pine, because if you watched some of his college stuff, it was like he's got a lot of room to grow. He needs to grow, right? Decent prospect, whatever. Fields, man, it's just a different vibe. It's like this kid.
Yeah,
I was watching his game versus Alabama today, and then that let me down the Justin Fields rabbit hole on YouTube. That was fantastic. It was like,
it's crazy.
This guy makes multiple reads, and sometimes he does hold the ball, and sometimes he does, but it's still, dude. He moves so subtly in the pocket to avoid pressure. It's
not too big for him.
None of it has been. None of it's been.
No. I mean, like he's like you said, he's been already under the microscope for a while. Like this is not
Since
new
high
to
school.
him.
Yeah.
Like the whole
QB1
I
on
just-
Netflix. Like
TV1, right?
battling
Mm.
Trevor Lawrence at every turn.
Yeah.
Like he
Did you
was
see the,
already battling Trevor Lawrence in high school. Like
Did you see the Brett Coleman video where it breaks into
Yeah.
the back to the doldrums of Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields, and it was pretty
I
pretty
forgot to
damning.
pour Cosmo.
and Foles.
Yeah, Foles.
Yeah, well,
Pretty
look,
bad.
it's funny how, everybody was on the blame Nagy tip. Some of the biggest idiots out there in Bears Twitter are the blame Nagy camp, like who just completely are willing to cling to these fucking bad players and
Some people have a method where it's always the coach because I can coach better bullshit.
Right. But like, the narrative can really be spun either way. But people say, "Oh, this and that." It doesn't pass the eye test. Like,
Right.
the shit does not pass the eye test. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy this time of year.
Well,
we're a week and a half or close to it from rookies reporting.
Well, Fields can come tomorrow. They were saying,
Really?
Yeah. People are pretty much expecting him to. He can come as soon as tomorrow.
What about? I wonder. Has anybody heard about Daz Newsome? Is he gonna be?
No, I haven't heard any news on him.
I think he's supposed to be ready for camp. Yeah,
that's what I've heard, but I haven't seen
the thought
anything on
process.
that since that injury. So I was curious if anybody had anything out about it.
I'm hoping. He's
Yeah,
ready.
I don't know. That hype kind of went away. I mean,
Yeah. After the injury, it's like, oh, let's check back on that.
you just move on to other shit. Like you can't, I mean,
Speaking of hype,
that,
sorry, go ahead. It seems like the truthers are now eighth robs.
Oh yes, the eighth robs.
oh my god, bro,
Dude,
Like,
As you so cleverly dubbed them eighth robs there.
yeah, they're brutal. They've been brutal. Like, I mean, and listen, we jumped on the extend A-Rob,
I like Allen
bandwagon.
Robinson, man, but like, I think he's more talented than what he's done here. But yes, the quarterback play hasn't been that great. But 2005 was a long freaking. It was a long time ago. I'm sorry, 2015, right? Yeah, that's when.
Both.
That's 2015 is
Right.
when he had that 14 touchdown season that everybody got hard about. But like, he hasn't had double-digit touchdowns since. Like, he had 6 touchdowns last year. That was 29th in the league. I know he had the yardage, but he was also forced the ball a shitload. He was like,
in his defense, though, like, he was very rarely targeted in the red zone. Like, alarmingly not so. Like, pulled from the game in the red zone. Like, it was almost, and it's not really what was happening. But there's times where, like, if you're A-Rob, you start to think, like, are they trying to limit my touchdowns?
Right.
Like in some fucked up way.
Well, you could say that,
know,
but he hasn't had double digits since he's been here.
Right.
What are you going to
But-
extend A-Rob to, though? He's a 28-year-old receiver. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And he's not even top 10. And I'm sorry.
No.
What are you going to pay this man? You can't pay him top 5 money for 4 years. Are you crazy? You get him for 2, maybe.
Well, and here's the thing too, is that like low key Darnell Mooney gave them like this shot of confidence that they can find another one like a Darnell Mooney. So they're feeling like and everyone's feeling like the draft is wide receiver rich because it is. Like there's so many dudes coming out and making impact right away. So they feel like he's replaceable too, And the thing about it is,
he was brought in as a Band-Aid for Kevin White. He was brought in because Bates made a mistake.
He's a damn good
right,
Band-Aid.
Oh, I'm not stupid. I like Allen Robinson, and the real problem is
Absolutely.
pace picking out receivers has been a problem.
Yep.
And you brought in A-Rob. He's the best we have. So yes, you could sit here and compare him to the best in the league. He's the best guy we have. And we don't have anybody to replace him. So
Right, and we already
I don't mind
said
locking
this.
him down, but I'm not going to freak out that we didn't.
Right, and we already said this, but the only reason he's even a Bear is because Sammy Watkins went to another team. The Bears were all in on Sammy Watkins, and then A-Rob was choice number 2 because of his injury.
Right.
He was despite his injury, he was the second best free agent on that wide receiver market in a lot of people's eyes.
And
Because
honestly,
of that.
if you want to, you can tag him again and get him at the same price. And
Absolutely, you can.
29,
But that's
when you
No,
go 29 in, you go to his 29-year-old to 30-year-old.
right. And it happened.
And that might feel like he's being screwed, but
He's not.
Whatever.
It would be over 20 million if they tag him again.
Right, but if the cap goes back up, I mean, you've seen teams do the double tag. Like I think Trent Williams.
Dak Prescott
had
got
that.
it, did he not?
Yes.
Well, my whole thing too, guys, is like if A-Rob was as great as the fanboys of the A-Rob fan club think he is, we would have been
The
offered
A-Robs.
something pretty enticing if the league felt the same way
Yeah.
for him. You know what I mean? There would have been like
Sure.
a first round pick or something crazy. It's not
Like
he's a very good possession receiver.
he's
at
not a
this
game
point.
breaker. He's like Jarvis Landry.
No,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
he's not. He doesn't take the top
No.
off the defense.
Absolutely not, and he never will. Like he's always getting tackled at 15 yards.
Look at Reed Tree 1. Look at the Andy Reid 1s. You got Tyreek Hill, Deshaun Jackson. Terrell Owens was a
Right.
bigger dude, but he got
He's a
separated.
break.
Well, and that's why like they're trying to build this wide receiver core for speed. I mean, you see
Yeah.
Goodwin, come in. Darnell Mooney obviously is really fast. Like
The guy from
Demir Bird
near Bird, yes.
is really fast.
And we got
Oh,
a
by the
quarter-
way, speaking of fast guys, shout out to Ted Ginn for finally admitting that he was retired instead of being on the Bears while actually being fucking retired. Like super, super awesome, Nagy. Like
remember people were
let me take a minute to fucking like shit on
Yeah.
Nagy for that. Nagy and Pace, the Ted Ginn signing. Like what the fuck? That was
the veteran
trash.
presence, the leadership,
Oh my god!
The guy
we got
that's supposed to be able to return punts. Remember?
Bro, he was trash.
He wouldn't touch it. He's like, no.
Bro, like
I mean, Victor
Like-
Cruz in that preseason gave me more hype
Like-
than Ginn.
like
When we had Cruz for that one preseason.
Ted Ginn would catch the ball and it would instantly become like Tecmo Bowl, where like every defender just flies to him like it's like a play on Tecmo. Like everybody just tweet. It's like, oh, Ted Ginn, like what the fuck?
Yeah. He got
Yo,
that easy
so
paycheck.
shout out to Ted Ginn. Congratulations on fucking finessing the Bears out of $1 million or whatever the fuck while actually being retired. Thank you. That was
Yeah.
fucking rad. You suck, Ted Ginn.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. It's like the Chase fucking Daniel of return guys. Like what a leader. What a leader.
He
like
should start a GoFundMe.
yeah, right. I know. Yeah, you never know. Maybe he needs an iPad or some
But
shit.
with
I don't know.
These speed guys that can get open now, we have QB1 can hit them in stride.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
if he
mean,
gets the protection.
Like Darnell Mooney puts that double move on, he's getting hit.
If
Oh, the bucket drops. God, he can drop it in a bucket, can he?
absolutely. It just, can guys get to spots?
Now, I'll just be honest. When I was watching Fields tape, I was looking for the bad. I tried real hard to find bad. It is hard to find it.
That's the thing is that like that's
They need to
the
get off the
separate-
spots though. This guy can extend shit like nothing
Yeah,
we've seen before.
for
here.
sure. Oh, absolutely. He's crazy athletic. Like it's getting out of the pocket and not like one cheap spin move, and then like This dude's like like a fucking gazelle back there, just like whoop, whoop, with his feet, like making little side step, back step.
But we give this organization.
Platform. You want fucking off platform? Come on, man. This dude's
we got
different.
Trubisky Stats Inc. in the house.
Well,
Since 1999, only 3 teams have won the Super Bowl with an all-pro wide receiver. Hashtag #8throbs. Stats Inc. coming through.
Stats Inc. That's true. Like
Sometimes
sometimes
be a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
was he ever a Pro Bowl wide receiver, A-Rob?
Not here, I don't think.
In Jacksonville with his
maybe.
1,500-yard season?
Maybe then, but not on the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I mean,
Go to the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I don't think he's been to the Pro Bowl. Maybe he has. Whatever. Fuck the Pro Bowl. First choice? It's like Olin says, no alternates. And you guys stop with that shit. That's all. That's all I'm saying. What what else happened this week? Oh, this week, I don't even know who that dude is. What the fuck's the guy's name that makes those videos? And he's like the biggest Komet hater on Bears Twitter.
Oh.
I can't remember that dude's name.
Raul?
No, well, there's Raul. Yeah, that is.
Wow,
shot. But he doesn't make any videos. Like, this dude's like the biggest Komet hater. Yeah, Raul should make some videos.
Okay.
I don't know if they'd be
He
about
probably
Komet.
has, but they're on fans only.
Yeah, exactly. They're on his OnlyFans. Raul's OnlyFans. You know he has that shit. Yeah, what the fuck? Like, people just trying to chew off their own arms just to have something to talk about. Like, why is it? What the fuck is wrong with you, you Komet haters? Like, you really have to, like...
I haven't seen too much of it. But
It's just these two. It's just Raul and then, like, fucking the other dude. And the dude makes, like, cut-ups, And it's like, look at him and his routes. And Buckus Stats came back with a bunch of data that most of it I understood. Some of it I was like, not sure. Might be too complex. That showed, basically that he was never put into any good situations. Like,
Right.
he was given shitty routes in pass likely downs, and where it's like everybody knows what's fucking coming.
He's a rookie tight end, and you just don't look, when we went into the preseason last year, we all said, I mean, you had him as over, but we all had him under 30 catches.
The thing that I feel like about tight end is that because you're playing, like, you're really, everything is happening in such a short space in 10 yards. The little subtle adjustments that you just make on a feel basis is what separates you. And you can be like Gronk and just be like this insane physical specimen, and just dominate. But you still have to be a tactician, because inside 10 yards, like, every little thing that you do can totally throw everything off.
Go ahead,
Brian.
You can't make the argument that A-Rob said shitty quarterback play. And I mean, really, if you look at a lot of it, the things that A-Rob was doing would normally, if a quarterback had confidence to throw over the middle, would be to your tight end.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, that was Mitch's binky. That the fact that Mitch was here and not the tight ends, like I said, this roster was very hard to evaluate with the way our quarterbacks played. Right. You can make that argument for every player on offense.
Also, when you think about the tight end position, you have to read the linebacker. Sometimes you have to come in and chip on the edge, and then go out into the route. So it's like there's a lot for him that he has to do pre-snap and then post-snap.
Yeah. Dude,
it's not like being a wide receiver.
Yeah, and it's like, tight end's obviously fucking difficult as hell. Unless you can figure out some weird sweet deal like Jimmy Graham gets, where he just
lines up outside.
Yeah, like he never actually has to do any tight end shit. Like, it's like he gets to chill out on the island with a drink in his hand. Like, I'm just the biggest fucking wide receiver over here. Fuck y'all. I'm not getting in the scrum.
Well, he's the distraction, because they're trying to build Komet from the ground up. Right. You want this kid to be able to learn the blocking. We know he can run the routes and receive. Right. We've seen that. he can do that, but they're
Yo,
trying to make
what's
him
so
a complete
funny
tight
though,
end.
like, yeah, what's so funny is that, like, I think the thing that, people kind of trip about Komet is that, like, he's just too perfect, he just, the dude is like, he's like
He's a
handsome as
perfect
hell. He's
target.
like this clean cut, like fucking, I mean, this dude's like fucking grade A.
He's a big dude too.
Yeah, like he's just like, you just look at that guy, you're like, fucking A, that's a damn football player. So he just kind of has this, like, clean, super clean cut, and I think people just want to go at him, and plus he's Notre Dame, and obviously we hate on Notre Dame, except for you who love Notre Dame. Like, Notre Dame players are polarizing.
That, and he's a Chicago boy. So
There's a
he's
lot of
already-
Notre Dame fans in Chicago, though.
Well, wait,
No,
no,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying.
I'm sorry.
But
The
that's
Soldier Field truthers will tell you he's not from Chicago. He's from an hour away. What are you talking about? Like, right? Isn't Arlington Heights like an hour away from Chicago? That's what
Oh
I
my
was
God.
told by the same
There it is.
people who would fucking tell you, that he's from Chicago when he was drafted, right? Same fucking logic.
Same
Like,
people.
how's that work?
But they wanted
Like,
Jimmy
when it's
G.
fucking convenient, Arlington Heights is part of Chicago, but when it's fucking,
Jimmy G was a hometown kid when he was back in Brady up though.
I agree, but like, we'll see, bro. I mean, all I know is that Justin Fields is out there looking like a badass. Trey Lance is out there fucking looking like the fucking Brandy Chastain. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and
like
those
wearing
that's how they are. Those vests, I guess.
but like, somebody had to design that shit, right? And somebody had to go, oh wait, no, this looks fucking whack as fuck. Like,
yeah, those soccer.
like-
I think they use them in another sport too. Like
there
soccer or
has to
something
be
like
a way to make that look cool. Like, they decided,
put a shirt
nah,
over it.
I don't know. Apparently, like, it's not. I don't get it. Like, it's just like somebody made a terrible decision to fucking, like, let them just go ahead and keep wearing those. Like, and I don't understand. Like, they just look horrible. Like, horrible. Like, somebody in Detroit decided it'd be awesome to, like, spray a football with, like, stucco or, like, popcorn ceiling for their little player photo shoots. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the weirdest fucking thing. They're holding, all the players are with these gray gloves, and the whatever their fucking blue is called, the Malibu blue or whatever the fuck shit's called. And they're holding this white stucco ball and trying to look all fucking tough. It's so Detroit.
So Detroit.
It's just, and unlike the Bears social media, which is fucking awesome, but the Bears, we come to find out today, the
Yeah.
Bears
wait a minute.
fucking fired Jen Telecky, the social media coordinator, hometown girl, grew up a Bears fan, like,
Well, kind of.
came up through the ranks, like, did you read the article that she wrote? She grew up a Bears fan.
She's like, I didn't know anything about football. I liked them because my dad liked them.
Yeah, whatever. That counts. It didn't mean she didn't have to fucking have a podcast to be considered a fan. That counts. That's enough. Like, don't be a
okay.
fucking...
Wait. I'll let you build it up in your
Yeah.
in your timeline.
Anyway, she's fucking good at her
No.
job. So you want to derail my little fucking romantic, romanticism of it? Fine. She was good at her fucking job. The Bears social media was killing it.
Sometimes.
Like, quite often. When in 2018, that shit was on fire. Like, nothing, she was on fire in 2018. And then she had to sit through 2019 and 2020.
Nagy's
And then they got
pressers
that
were
lemonade
fire
thing
to
and-
us. Come on, man. We were all punch drunk.
But she killed the game. She was
Sure.
kicking ass. Cameron Good, who also left the Bears, the video guy, was kicking ass. He's now kicking ass, like, up higher. I just thought it was whack. Like, how do you I don't know. Like, that seems...
You got it. She started 6 years ago, right? Like, look how much has changed with technology in 6 years. Like, that game is a tough thing to stay on top of when you got these people, like, probably going to college for that now, coming out, like, freaking the latest technology. Like, they just could have somebody that's more evolved in it. Who knows, man? We're gonna see if it
I don't know.
it would need to improve though, because she did a good job. But like,
It just
I'm
seems
still
weird.
waiting for
Whenever
that
we
1920 drive, whatever. I'm still waiting on that.
Like that's just I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe she got let go because she couldn't get that shit together. Maybe you
that
know.
QB1 tweet she put out was like the end of it.
She didn't
No,
tweet
that's-
that. Ted tweeted that shit. You know, Ted fucking tweeted
That's
that
me
shit.
from my business office.
That was a real
QB
spit
one.
take.
I try keeping my coffee off my jersey on that
That
one.
was a real spit take, I believe, or an excellent fucking acting job. One of the two.
It's not Brian's
maybe
forte to
both.
spit.
Man,
Pause. Super pause. Oh, what?
I spit hot fire.
And I
Lord,
spit hot fire. Top fire.
Did you guys get the email? The email
Huh?
to see if you won the raffle, which is the Bears.
No,
Training camp?
this shit hasn't come out. That's what I fucking found out today. Talucky's fired, and where's my fucking
Where's
training
my
camp
email?
tickets?
Yeah, I
And
put
it's
in
like,
for the
well,
23rd.
we'll be announcing it the week of. So yeah, that shit didn't happen tonight, but
I put in for the 23rd of August.
okay.
So if
That's
I
cool.
get it, there's an extra one for somebody. So
I'm trying to fucking. I mean, I signed up for 4 for every day because why not? Like I figure might as well sign up for the max.
Absolutely.
I'll find somebody to go with.
oh, I might just meet you out there then.
Yeah.
Get a twin bed and shit.
See, here we go.
All right, folks, that is our show. Thank you so much for coming out and listening to the Tailgate Show.
Splintering the timeline all over the place.
What is yo, shout out to Bear Down Loyal, Teresa
Welcome back.
for coming back after like a wild hiatus, like
I don't know
off
how to
of
take
Twitter.
that. Is that a compliment?
Shout out to him coming back. I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even know what that
Having
means.
Indiana Jones
He
movie.
says, "Be Quinn acting better than an Indiana Jones movie." What does that mean? You know what the fuck that means?
That means when shit's on point tonight. That's what that means, I guess.
I feel like he has some weird opinions about fucking
Marvel.
Indiana Jones that we probably argued about. I can't even think of it.
he
Like,
does.
it's so hard to keep track of the crazy, like, offbeat takes that come out of dude. Anyway, welcome the fuck back after you were mysteriously absent. Like, to the point where, like, I was, like, trying to stalk you on Facebook and be like, dude, are you all right? What the fuck?
I got a hold of him. I was going to leave a message on his business account to ask him if he had a meth home abandoned for 4 days for under 25 grand in the beach area. He's like, no, I would have known who that was. Like, you think?
Yeah, anyway, so shout out to that dude. Bear's Twitter's better when you're back, even though your
welcome back,
food
bro.
and beverage opinions and movie opinions are fucking wild, bro. He says Jer was about to buy some real estate to make sure I was okay. Yes, bro, that's impressive, but I went on Facebook
Oh my.
and fucking like
Ugh.
found your ass and sent you a
Facebook.
fucking Facebook message. That's like CSI shit, bro.
Yeah,
That's like I have a particular set of skills.
not
Like
to get
I will find you.
not to get
like,
into too much detail with real estate, but man, Jared basically like he just like bought so much acreage on Facebook. Oh my god, that's gonna like live in minds for months, bro. He like went full fucking hammer.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, like, we have so much square footage in everybody's heads, like a lot of these fucking people's heads. Like, I feel like we should be able to lease that out. You know what I mean? Like, if I fucking have like an expansive estate inside your head to the point where like you can't get through a podcast without taking a shot like a bitch, like I should be able to lease that space, right? I feel like that's mine to do what I need.
Maybe we'll raffle that space off sometime.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, boy.
Baron Allen says, what other podcast loves their P1s like this? One of a kind pod.
Aw.
That's true,
Thanks,
bro.
brother.
That's true. That's real.
Some
We're
good
trying to
news
make it
though.
personable.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're trying to, talk about shit. What?
some really great news about the
What?
NFL
No.
Network preseason game
What?
schedule. No, they're going to be live on all the Bears games, which is freaking awesome because they used to have to wait like 3 days to find out what day they were going to play the repeat. Like they're all going to be live. So there's 2 1:00 games, and then the third game 7 p.m. So that
Yeah, it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong.
I mean,
like,
well, no, it's
It's
just
gonna
cool
be
for
on.
the people that don't live in the Chicago
hell
area.
yeah, right.
Having them live is dope.
Well, I mean, they have all these NFL properties on, like, you have the the NFL properties that actually just do the Bears, and then you have the NFL properties of the NFL Network and Red Zone. There's no reason why we can't have live football
Oh, sure,
for
but
all
they
the
never.
preseason.
Historically, they've never done that. Like they'll play one live
It's
game.
time, man.
But it's Justin
Time.
Fields.
It's also
Like,
time to get rid of fucking Direct TV's bullshit, and let's get it on a streaming service that's worth a shit.
It's going that direction. I think this is DirecTV's last year. And just a little pro tip: everybody that has DirecTV, call them in August and negotiate their rate because they gave it to me free last year for the NFL package. So you call them. You've been a customer for a while. They work with you.
I would say, like at this point, like Justin Fields has already taken all of the quarterback spotlight from Trevor Lawrence. Like,
Yeah, you barely hear anything about him.
Trevor Lawrence, and I know
nobody cares about the Jags.
Yeah, I know we're completely in a fucking bubble, but like Tim Tebow, fucking,
And Tebow dunked on him too in Jacksonville.
Tim Tebow outsold him jersey-wise, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, like twice over.
Floridians, man.
There's like multiple Tebow jerseys. It's like Justin Fields has 2 jerseys. Tebow, it's like top 5 is 2 Tebows, 2 Justin Fields, and like Mahomes or something.
Yep.
Yeah, Florida's like its own, like, it should just be a territory, not even a state.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't know, Florida.
It's a Wild West.
Cue the fucking Bugs Bunny gif of him sawing that shit off. Fucking like.
So have you taken your kids, speaking of Bugs Bunny,
Mm.
have you taken your kids to see Space Jam?
I actually have. I took them to my living room and turned on HBO Max because they
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Take them to.
Not to change it completely over there. Well, what did you think? Was it a flop like LeBron or what?
So I think that if I paid to see it, I would have been pissed. But like my children, my daughter actually enjoyed it more than my son. But it was a kid movie, man. Like,
Right.
But
the first
things
Space
like,
Jam sucked. I mean, it was just
I think
Jordan
somebody put it out there.
nostalgia. Yeah, so for this generation, it is what it is. I know, like he can't hold a candle to Jordan and art. So it's like, get off my, it's like not my Michael Jordan. You can't be subbing in for him. But it's its own. It's for this generation. It's not. For
LeBron's a way better actor than Jordan ever was. Like, you know what I mean? He's a little corny, but he's a way better actor. Like, LeBron's already been in a couple of movies, like,
yeah, it was,
and like with lines, I mean, but he's way better. I mean, Jordan is like, Jordan's Jordan, but like, he, and what was great about the Saturday Night Live Jordans was how they found shit that was like perfect for his temperament. You know what I mean? Like in his delivery and whatever, like, it just worked. And but he didn't have like a lot of range. Like he was just always Jordan.
No, but Looney Tunes was also way more relevant back then. Like they don't.
Yes.
They try to keep that shit away from kids now and don't even put it on TV. It's too violent. All this shit. Like we grew up with that shit. So like it.
Trubisky says, "Did you see his acting in the 'I Believe We Can Fly' montage? Epic." Yeah.
I was just curious what you thought about it because. I think a lot of people.
My kids liked it, all right, but they didn't love it.
It was. I mean, it's Space Jam, man. You can't go into a movie like that with expectations.
No, the first one's trash. Like it's nostalgic, but it's trash. Like,
it's for kids and cartoons and seeing Bugs Bunny, and I just wonder. It's like in my brain, I was like, how familiar are kids with Bugs Bunny now?
It was
they're not.
One thing I thought was kind of cool was they were incorporating like WNBA players into it too, which is cool. Like Diana Taurasi was in it. That kind of
There you
stuff's
go.
kind of well, it's just cool because that that's grown. The women's game's grown a lot, so it's cool to see them get some love.
That is true.
I try to watch women's basketball sometimes. I just can't really get into it.
It's cool,
Right.
man. I've seen Diana Taurasi play like WNBA games.
And
She's
it's-
raw, bro. She's like
No, it's not like, I mean, there's so many, like, women can play. Like, there are so many women who
way
can
more
fucking
fundamentally
absolutely
sound.
play.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm just like, it's like my brain just doesn't want to get there, like getting engaged in it. And I don't know, like, it's
Sure.
just,
It's more of a
just-
team game. It's more ball
Yeah.
movement. I enjoy watching it. I mean, like,
But I mean, that's the thing is you gotta invest in it. You know what I mean? Like if I started playing like fantasy WNBA, then all of a sudden I'd probably be.
Wow.
No, I'm just-
no.
Yo,
No,
you're a straight up degenerate if you do fantasy WNBA, or you're a big fan of the WNBA. But
Right.
realistically, you're like a gambling degenerate.
No, I
if
used to
you
get
even-
free tickets to the Connecticut Sun, so I would bring my daughter and my son. It was just
Speaking
fun.
of
Right. Well, that was fucking It wasn't like the Gino Oriema or whatever. Like, am I
Gino
making
was at Gino was at my 12-year-old basketball banquet back when like UConn women weren't like they were just up
Right.
just starting. It was like crazy. Gino was just sitting there as a guest speaker at my like town basketball banquet.
Right. So that's you out in Connecticut, it's big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. UConn basketball is
Like
huge
it's
for us.
different. Like
Yeah.
both sides. That's just different. That's a whole culture out there. So
Yeah,
like and that's the thing is you need something like that. You know, I mean, I think it's growing. It's I mean, whatever. Now it's a WNBA podcast, but fuck it, this is what we do on a damn tailgate.
no.
you
I'm
know?
just saying we're talking about the movie. I just thought that
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like
Right. It's a good
pick
time.
up.
Well, and Jordan was in the halftime, right? I didn't see it, but Jordan like popped in the halftime or some shit.
No, not really,
I thought so. I thought people were saying that he
No,
did. Is that
it-
fake?
dude. It was Michael B. Jordan.
They're
like,
shut
I'm-
the fuck up.
I swear to
For
God.
real?
And then he threw some stupid like Friday Night Lights quote out there, like that they used to
Yeah.
say in the locker room.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
That's so terrible. It's almost
They
amazing.
teased it like it was Jordan. And he's like, "Oh, I thought that was Michael Jordan." But there were a lot of corny references to other movies. They had all the WB character, like all the Warner Brothers characters. Even like it was in the crowd.
Bear Down Loyal, Trubiskus and Gravy brings up an excellent point. He's asking, do you tailgate before an WNBA game? And if so, what is it like? Probably wild. Yeah, I think it might be wild.
No, it's at the casino and there's no tailgating areas. So no.
There you go.
But for
And that's the
WNBA,
man that- he would know.
yeah.
He's been
No
to. He's actually
tailgating.
been to the game.
Well, that just crushed Trubisky's dreams because I'll bet that Trubisky and Raul could come up with a serious WNBA tailgate.
Oh, Raul,
You know what I'm
love
saying?
it. All women over 6 feet
Yeah.
tall, like that's
Mhm.
Raul's like. He
Bring
loves
in
that
like
rare air.
a couple of bring in like a flatbed with stripper poles on it. You
Careful.
know what I mean? Like some
Easy, boys, easy.
some strippers come out like some flatbed trucks with stripper poles on them and fucking lights.
Easy.
What? I'm not saying the players would do that. Raul would bring strippers to the WNBA tailgate because that's a move that Raul would do. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no tailgate.
There's no tailgate. Shut up about it. Why'd you even ask? Fucking Trubisky's.
So anyway, yes, the movie is what everybody thought it would be. It's nothing special, but the kids enjoyed it. So
That's what it's all about. I was just curious.
Tenet was kind of dope though. Denzel Washington's kid.
Yeah.
Tenet's a good movie. Man, yeah.
Fucking Trubisky said that would never be around Raul with women. Some things he can't unsee. Raul probably doesn't listen to this podcast, even though he fucking should, but he probably doesn't.
I wouldn't blame him.
so
I
you
don't know if
probably won't
anybody
hear
listens
that.
to it.
Yeah, a few people
Let
do.
them
Like,
biscuits.
it's like 3 people, whatever. It's cool.
We love
I
them.
like them all. Oh well, actually, there's like 10 people that probably listen that just listen to hate, or maybe
That's
20.
fine.
We welcome all.
That's fine. We would, all haters welcome.
That's it.
Oh,
Come on in.
that's it. What else we got? Anything else? I don't think anything else really fucking happened.
Loki, man. Loki. We got to talk about Loki.
Fucking Loki, man. Like, okay, Loki was cool. I'm pissed that they went with this cop out of like, whoa, it's the multiverse. Like fucking star wipe and like wait for next season. Fuck off. Like it's just come on, like give us a little bit more of a resolution or a cliffhanger or
that is kind of a cliffhanger. You're all upset about it. They got what you're gonna be.
It's
watching.
not a cliffhanger though. It's a cop out. It's like shit gets wild in the multiverse. See you next season, kids. Like, come on. Like that's really they just went. It's like, oh, tune in next time on Wacky World.
So I had a hard time watching after the third one because it was just like slow and like he finds his like.
It took a little while to warm up, but I just like the actors enough that I was down.
Yeah.
Considering how much Marvel stuff they do, it's still entertaining. It's hard. I mean they're going full bore with the Marvel stuff, so the fact that it's still good quality.
I love the style of it. I love the retro future. Like anything that any sci-fi movies that do the retro future, I'm in. Like that's just there's just something like about it. Like there's just something about
like
it.
Wanda when she did all the Wanda doing all the decades where like it started out in the 40s and 50s and moved.
Yeah, but to me that was like almost distracting. At least I couldn't get I watched the first episode and I just didn't want to see more. Like this, it's just like it was like a theme behind it, and it just kind of like gave it this, this set of odd, like surreal quality to it, But with so I just thought it was cool. Like I thought the acting was fucking on point, but at the end, it's just kind of like, stay tuned for more crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of like I found it interesting that like she's in charge. And the guy that was in charge became the statue. So you wonder if
somebody watched the finale.
No, so if the timekeepers probably were that dude and got taken over by the new dude, and now she's in charge, and now he's the model of the timekeeper. That's how he came back.
Right.
Wow.
I found that a little interesting. And plus, you got to give the dude that plays Loki props. He did bang out Taylor Swift, so.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. Good for him. So, like, there's songs about him, probably? 'Cause that's like what she does. She just, like, writes songs about her exes. Like, I think that she's, like, straight up said that. Like, that's just what she does.
Yeah, she did that for a while, yeah.
I think she still does it. Now she writes songs about, I don't know, Cardians or something. I don't know what else she does. But what the fuck? How do we get to Taylor Swift? Oh, from Loki to Taylor Swift. This is how we do on a goddamn tailgate. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like, Marvel talk. Trubiscuits has left the chat. This is yet another fucking questionable ass opinion, bro. This is I'm telling you, like, this is where I start to worry. Like, this is like you're on some straw man shit right now. Like, I really think sometimes that like these are just trolls, like elaborate trolls that you are so bought in on because you love the fucking battle of it, but you can't possibly really have this opinion. Batman is the only true superhero. Like, in reality, Batman isn't a superhero. That's what's fucking like. He's just a guy who's so angry that a lot of money, a lot of gadgets, and he's so angry that he kind of got badass from his anger.
Right.
Like it's like he's like Batman's always right on the edge of being a criminal or a good guy.
Well, the problem is too, if you look at what they've done with Batman compared to what Marvel's done with their stuff, like you can't even compare it because like they have taken some shitty actors and put them as Batman, and it's just purely disrespectful. Like, my opinion, I'm old school. Michael Keaton was my dude. Like, I thought he was the best, and Bale was good, but like, God.
Well, here's the fucked up part about as good as the Christian Bale movies are, is
his voice was
not
irritating.
The best. Yeah, he's not the best part of them at all. Like, he's like a part of them,
right.
And I think his physical acting is on point. As much of it was him. I'm sure there were a lot of stunt work in that movie. But you're right, the voice is just so it's like, oh, Batman, like it's like, bro, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like it's just too much, you know. Like Michael Keaton just had this like, you know, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Like fucking, you know, that was like I don't know. The whole like what's crazy about the first Batman is, you know, as much as it was like, you know, there's a little corniness to it. Like the acting in that movie is crazy. Like
Yeah, and Michael Keaton's a great actor. He's highly underrated.
yeah, like the shit that Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson were doing in that movie is insane. Like.
Danny DeVito, he's the only Penguin, man.
People cream over the Heath Ledger Joker. The Heath Ledger Joker would never exist without the Jack Nicholson Joker. Like, you needed that transition. You know what I mean? Like he that's what gave him license to go even further, you know, and give us like an R-rated. Is because somebody else like stepped out. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like some weird fucking, you know, Keebler elf on crack. You know, like you know, back in the day. So
yeah. Plus that movie was that movie was so huge when it came out. The first Batman.
Keaton a better Batman, Bale a better Bruce Wayne. What? I don't know. Like, and I also have to say, like, Katie Holmes is fucking horrible in those movies. Like.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the TV soap opera stuff doesn't really translate to the big screen.
Yeah, like Aaron Eckhart too is like sometimes it's just like I don't know. There's just things about those movies, as badass as they are, and you know, Christopher Nolan, fucking amazing cinematography, like crazy, you know, like French horns, blah blah, like and everything, you know, just like intense shit, like. As badass as they are, there's little holes that you can poke in them, and I just feel like the Marvel formula is fucking like Coca-Cola right now. It's so on point. Like they're just like they figured out
why Biscuits hates it because he's a Pepsi weirdo.
It's like Batman veers all over the place. Like we can't even keep Batman on the road. Like it's like what? Like who's Batman? Like what? What's going on? Like you know, like Marvel's just a CGI mess. Old man that's not even that old. That's Jesus, dude. Fuck that opinion, bro. Jesus Christ. Like, Marvel is just a CGI mess. Get all the way the fuck out of here with that.
Man, Marvel came out and teabagged everybody with Blade.
Yeah.
Blade was bad fucking ass, dude. Like,
when I'm sorry, but like, if you told me back when I was super into swingers, as most people were for a while, right? Like everybody loved swingers. With fucking Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn, like that movie was, you know, that movie was super popular, like super popular. Who would have ever fucking thought that Jon Favreau would be the guy that brought back, you know, like took Marvel over the top?
You see Favreau,
and Robert Downey Jr. Like
Favreau and Couples Retreat.
Yeah, like it's just crazy though. Like that he's like. You know, he's like the big time fucking Iron Man director that like changed the whole fortunes of Marvel.
Did the live action Lion King? Did a bunch of shit. Does freaking Mandalorian?
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. Like what the fuck? The Mandalorian is so sick. That show is insane. Yo, like to think that we were alive during V for Vendetta.
They're shows. They're like movie quality shows. Good.
Do you remember V for Vendetta?
Yes.
Like that show with the fucking lizards and shit. Like we were alive for that, and now
you're talking about V. Like, the alien inside.
Yeah, not V for Vendetta. V. My bad. I fucked that up. V for Vendetta is the fucking V. The final that shit. We saw that show, and that show was cool.
It was creepy as hell when we were little.
It's way creepy. Like that show gave me straight up nightmares. Like they did that well. But now to go from that shit. I remember Doctor Who used to come on, and it would be like a vacuum cleaner with a sheet on it, you know, and like some Christmas lights, and they'd be talking to it like it was fucking an alien or a robot, like the most horrible shit you've ever seen in your life. And then we get to see the Mandalorian. Like,
dude, you remember the made for TV freaked people the fuck out. They came out in summer, and like
Mhm.
dudes in my neighborhood were scared to go near the sewers. Fucking
Yeah, like it's a trip. Like people, you don't understand the way that shows used to grip the country when everybody watched them. Like now, it's like, oh, do you stream that? You stream that? Like, yeah. Sometimes something like Tiger King will like hit for a little bit on Twitter. But like when shows back when, you know, in the 90s and the 80s, like were hitting and everybody was fucking watching
there
it.
weren't
Like,
many
it was the
options.
damn-
Yeah,
Yeah, because there was no
Stephen
options.
King, The Stand, that was
Yeah.
a really popular miniseries.
Absolutely.
with that
But
guy.
like I'm talking about like back in the day, like Dallas and shit. Like people used to
Oh
be,
yeah,
you know,
that's
lots
it.
landing.
Two Shot
Like,
JR.
you know, my mom used to be all about that show 30 something. Like these
Oh my
fucking
god.
dramas. Like people would just like be locked into
well,
them.
I
And you
remember.
could like
I
like-
used to watch that with your mom.
like
Bam! There it is, right on.
yeah. She like made you some hot cocoa or what? Like what are you fucking talking about? You watch it with my mom. You're like fucking 9? Fuck out of here. So yo, but like people, you know what I mean? Like people were about it. You know, like people think that it's like some fucking thing now. You know, like you could like if there were podcasts back then, there would be a million podcasts about every one of those shows.
Mhm.
Like
It'd be
all those
insane.
fucking huge shows, there would be podcasts going off about those things.
Make
they just
Bears
captivated
podcast
people.
look small.
Yeah, like people would go to, you know, like people would go to work and you could just talk about shows. I mean, remember when we were kids and like literally all you would do on Monday was do SNL shit? That's how I was
Yep.
when I was every Monday. It was who can fucking do SNL bits at
The church lady.
yeah.
Who is
And that was like what
Casper?
we did. Like we just mimicked the fucking, you know, Hans and Franz and Wayne's World and the Church Lady and fucking Caveman Lawyer and all that shit. Like, and that's how Monday was. We would
What,
talk
you go to,
about
a school
SNL
of
like it
performing
was
arts or
football.
something?
Huh?
You
People
went to like a school of performing arts or something?
No, it's just like the
Yeah.
kids that I hung out with. You know,
Yeah.
like it was just that was just we would talk. You know, we would watch sports too, but we would talk about the fucking SNL. Like we just I don't know the groups of friends that I was always in was always about Saturday Night Live in the '90s and then like in the '80s too. I don't know.
Yep.
It was like you know
Same.
everybody had watched it on Saturday.
Everybody 25 and under listening to this is probably like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, and fuck them. There's nobody under 25 listening to us. If they are, well, God bless you, but I don't know what you're doing. Like,
You really need to reevaluate your life.
Just
Yeah.
trying to get Bears players to come to my wedding.
yeah, what the fuck? Yo, props, like, dude actually put up a picture of the RSVP card, like, see, he's real, guys. He's real. Like, come on, man.
Public performance payments.
Oh my god! You know he stayed retired for like 5 minutes, bro. Like he's like, I retired. 2 weeks later, time to podcast again. Like next week, it's gonna be changing his fucking handle to like, you know, backroom prez or like some fucking dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
let me
wild,
change
man.
my handle, and everybody be like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad you're back. You have a new network. Oh my god, it's so exciting! You're so smart and special."
Top 5 hot sauces next week.
Bro, these millennials can't wait to start a circle jerk. Like it's just what they fucking love.
Mm.
Like, do not fucking confuse, you know, like actually doing something for all the shit around it. You know what I mean?
Just enjoy
Like,
it, man. Like
It's
damn,
just that, like, quit just, I don't know, like,
You
quit
know-
doing it, like, fucking doing a show about a show.
this
4 years ago, Twitter would have weeded those people out.
Yeah. Now it's like we congratulate them.
It's safe, man.
Congratulations. You know,
It's a
you
safe
have a,
zone.
yeah,
We're all
like,
safe there.
Yeah, social
yeah,
media
right.
is
Twitter's
safe.
like, do you really want to say that? I'm like, motherfucker, I put asterisks in it. Relax. Like, Jesus, I'm watching porn. Like, Twitter's mad at me about the fucking cursing, but I'm watching straight up porn on Twitter also. Like, how's that work? Like literally, it's like, do you want to say that? And then it's like straight up porn on the next tweet.
Yeah, people.
This is girl getting plowed.
Yeah, like what the fuck, bro? Like I don't get it. Like why is Twitter? What kind of like weird, like
algorithm,
two-faced? Yeah. It's
Double
crazy.
standard.
Yeah, right. Like there's like that's what's crazy is that like the algorithms of shit is actually, changing our outcomes. You know what I mean? Like because it literally can make you do different things. You're influenced to see this because you saw this, you clicked on this, you like this, and it's like, follow the yellow brick road. Fucking, follow the yellow brick road, and it just fucking like it's crazy how that goes,
Yeah, and then there's always somebody ready to like cancel somebody's shit, and
right. And that's what's crazy too is it's like they build each other up and they can't fucking wait to bring each other down until the point when they get to say, you know what, guys, let's not be mean, so they can like act like this magnanimous fucking. I learned my process and I fucking went to therapy and figured shit out and now I'm, like, bro.
It's like calling a guy that hangs out with like one of the most diverse groups and a racist or something. That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking just the whackness, bro, is spreading like a plague.
While wearing a big chain you used to make fun of people for wearing. That's cool.
Everything that guy makes fun of, he's done. Like to the fullest, like it's just such a joke. Like, he just fucking switches like the wind and fucking starts to shit on people when it's like, bro, you did the same shit. Like you literally, like there's pictures of that motherfucker in Dub Air's shit at his own wedding. Like, and now it's like, oh, you're trying to claim Duh is stupid. Like you're a fucking hypocrite, bro.
Just waiting to fire it off.
Yeah, like that dude's like, God bless. What a fucking.
Yeah.
We have good characters doing this, boys.
Yeah,
it's all a game.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. I don't know.
I think we get some real Bears news next week, though. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, like Jesus, it's fucking time. Please, God. Like we need the content so bad. Like give us something. Like I'm down.
I wonder how that's going to be now with Gentiliki not going to be there. It's going to be up.
I'm sure that's the thing is that she just got replaced by somebody cheaper. It's like what. Like these kids come out of college knowing, like already knowing this other language, with social media. This, they know they're fucking soothsayers on that shit. 7 days until Rodgers retires. God, what would that? That's gonna be crazy. Like when that comes down, if it's retirement or if he said he comes back,
this is a circus, man.
That's gonna be fucking crazy.
I think Bears Twitter something. Packers Twitter if Aaron Rodgers retires. Nuclear meltdown, smash.
No, they're already like obsessed with the Bears fans, man, because we got Fields and this Rodgers shit. They're a little shook right now.
What's crazy about Packers Twitter is there's so many anonymous people. Like even more so, I think, than Bears Twitter. Like there's everybody's like, some player name and whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's all just it's like everybody's straight up anonymous. Like you don't, and I don't know why. It's like if they're hardcores and they live in Green Bay, like why would you want to be anonymous? Like you're already fucking anonymous. You live in the sticks. You live in Green Bay. Like I don't understand. Like it, I don't get it. Like I just feel like it just feels. I don't know. Like
they're not the ones that live in Green Bay. They can actually type.
Yeah, like everything about Packer Twitter just feels fucking like fake. Like it's a put on. Like Aaron Nagler, it's like that dude should get like an Oscar for his acting. You know what I mean? Like this dude was literally like in tears after they lost that playoff game. Like he posted himself fucking crying, and then the next thing he's posting this "the Bears still suck" bullshit, and of course we fucking eat it up. Like we get stirred up so easy. Like, oh, that's what we didn't fucking talk about. That stupid list that got everybody all fired up. Like Jeremy Fowler and Louis Riddick and fucking somebody else like put together the most insane idea ever. It's like, let's rate the prospects of every team for the next 3 seasons. Like stop. Like, like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, that's just, it's absolutely asinine to.
You have no idea, and you've never seen the rookie class play it down in the NFL.
Like, and they basically said, like, you know, oh, the defense is getting older, and
Which is
you know, the cap, they've got cap problems, and this and this and that, and it's just like they made them like the 27th. They're like, you know, like one of the worst teams in the league. They ranked Brian Pace as the worst GM in football.
Pretty sure we're gonna have a pretty good cap situation next year.
Like, come on, like, and it's just so apparent that all they're doing is trying to stir us up, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Like, kudos to you because it fucking worked. But
yeah, but 3-year projection power rankings, man, it's just
like at some point, like you have no credibility anymore.
right.
Like they've been able to, like, you know, it used to be that like
It's not only that they don't have credibility, they don't have content. Let's call it what it is. We have nothing to talk about. Let's make some shit up.
And listen, they got 24 hours to fill. They literally have 24 hours to fill, and I don't think people give them enough credit for that. It's not easy to fill that much fucking programming. You know what I mean? Even with the advertising. You know, like it's fucking.
Got to get
it's
that
difficult.
good magic spoon.
And they got to, but they have to stay relevant, and that's what they trick Bears Twitter into talking about them. Stephen A. Smith knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. Like when he goes on there and you know and runs his mouth. I mean, he's always just the master of staying in the spotlight. You know, like that's how they have to live. Like, not everybody tunes in anymore. I mean, we talked about this on the show. Like, I used to watch SportsCenter twice. After, like, Sunday nights, I would watch Primetime and then sometimes SportsCenter twice. Just, I would see, you know, because I wanted to see all the football highlights and as much as I could. And that's all you fucking had.
Speaking of highlights, that dunk by Antetokounmpo. Holy shit, that was brutal. Anyway, sorry, go back.
Can B. Quinn elaborate on his salary cap take? Curious to hear his thoughts. Jonathan Wood thinks 2023.
Well, I think I'd have to see how Quinn's contract's structured, man. I'm pretty sure they can get
out of it after 2023.
That, right. So and then Jimmy Graham probably not going to be here. That's going to free up money.
Allen Robinson may not be here.
They can actually get out of the Mac contract for relatively low, and the
Hicks is probably off the books.
Oh, Hicks will be long gone. But they can also get out of the Eddie Jackson contract after 2022, I believe.
And there's going to be an increase in the salary cap. So, I mean, that's just a couple.
And that's the thing, like, to bring it full circle back to A-Rob, is that you're going to have a hard time matching the ascendance of Fields.
Dalton would probably be.
Yes. Like the ascendance of Fields and the descendants of A-Rob, you know, I don't think A-Rob's going up anymore in his career. If anything, he's going to plateau and he's going to go down.
I think
like that's just
he could have better production.
He could, but that's what I think is funny. And I forgot to mention this before, but like it's funny how the quarterbacks are. You know, everybody said, "Oh, it's you know, teams are throwing 50 times a game and 4,000 yards is meaningless and this and that. Like the quarterback stats are inflated." Well, it's like, why aren't the receiver stats given that same dig? You know, because they're fucking inflated because of the quarterback stats.
Well, they're also.
I mean, you got Michael Thomas can get like 2,000 yards catching nothing but slants. You know,
right? But it's also, I mean, it's all inflated because you can't get physical receivers like you used to. You can't really hit the quarterback. It's all
exactly. So it's just funny how the receivers though get all this credit. Like he had this many yards. It's like who fucking cares? I mean. Remember, you know, like the greatest show on turf when, like, you know, Torrey Holt and Oz Hakeem and fucking all those guys all had like 1,500 yard seasons. Yeah. Like that was like 20 years ago. Yeah, like and we get all in our, you know, A-throb feelings about his, you know, his fucking numbers. Like, it's
but
just
there's
like,
certain things where like he loafs and is not blocking great, and his yak game's weak, and he's like get dropped. You know what I mean? Like he's not. The second effort's not there sometimes.
He dropped. You know, let's talk about it. He dropped a few very important. His field awareness at times and going out of bounds a yard shy of a first down.
The contested catches that he lost and he made a lot of contested catches, but the ones that he lost were so intense last year.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, geez, man, they were moments where it was like, if he had just done that, and he was like snake bit, like he had to be thinking, what the fuck? Like literally looking at his hands, like I can't believe that another one happened. Like I give him props for holding it together mentally during that time, because I think a lot of dudes would have freaked out. Like a lot of wide receivers would have gone full fucking freak out in his position.
Agreed.
You know? Like that dude's mentally strong. I will say that about him. He's not a top 10 receiver, but he's a damn good player, and he's fucking very mentally strong, and he's stubborn as fuck. And that's why I think he's dug in right now, and he's basically just like, nah, you disrespected me. It's like, I would love to be disrespected for $18 million. Like, do you understand that if you make $100,000 a year, that's 178 years? That's how much $17.8 million is. Like, do you understand? That's so much fucking money. Like, and I know it's all relative, and he's got a skill, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, good Lord, like, I would love to be disrespected for 18 mil.
Dude, I would have fucking fiber optic internet out in this piece.
Bro, yeah, you'd have like a heliport.
That's the funny part. It's like,
Extend him, pay him $20 million plus. It's like, bro,
yo, you could buy a town in Indiana for 18 mil. Like you could buy you could probably buy like a 5,000 person town for 18 schmil. Like
I don't know, man.
remember when they named
you can at least make payments on it. It's enough. It's a down payment.
Oh yeah, you could definitely.
Right.
I remember when they named a town in Montana Joe, just to sell shirts, like Joe Montana, like in honor of him.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I don't think I ever knew that. That's really fucking funny.
The more you know, Jeff. Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Well, I tried to end the show before, but we had more shit to talk about. You know, like fuck it.
Well, we like to keep you on edge. We just talk.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. Shout out to our guy Trubiscuits and Gravy for being back, coming back like the Undertaker. Wow, fucking. Yeah, just another episode of Tailgate Show.
hit the like and subscribe button, everybody.
Dog bars.
The Eighth Rob. For A Rob.
Not really retired.